Welcome to the 2026 Autocar Trackday powered by Nayara Energy. We're back at the Coast High Performance Center and as always, we've got 11-time national champion Rajini Krishnan setting the lap times. Now this year, we've got a really varied bunch of motorcycles with everything from a little 155cc single cylinder to super adventure bikes and a proper fire-breathing 1000cc superbike. This is definitely going to be the fastest track day we've done so far when it comes to motorcycles. So let the games begin. As with previous years, the format of the Autocar Track Day is straightforward and it's all about the lap times. The way it works is that Rajini Krishnan takes each bike out for a few fast laps before moving on to the next one. The bikes are mostly ridden as they come in stock form with no mechanical modifications. Setup is also minimal and Rajini sets his own preferred tyre pressures for each machine. And these pressures are usually way lower than what the manufacturer recommends for street use. When a bike has adjustable suspension, we set it in the manufacturer's recommended settings for track riding, and Rajini may make some tweaks if he feels the need to. And finally, electronic rider aids like traction control are either fully turned off in the case of smaller bikes or set to their least intrusive settings for the big bikes. Lap times across the board have also improved this year compared to the past because CoASTT now has proper curbs in place. This allows the rider to use better lines and they also help as visual markers when pushing for a fast lap. Beginning from slow to fast, as you'd expect, it boils down to the two sub 160cc single cylinder bikes that we have here, and it's the KTM that sets the slowest lap time. This bike replaces the previous 125 Duke in India, and while it is much more powerful than before, it's still the slowest lap time that we've recorded at CoASTT to date. The reason for this is primarily because this bike sacrifices top-end power for a short-geared character that feels zippy on the street but runs out of breath on the track. The 160 Duke handles well, but the short gearing also created an awkward situation where the bike occasionally needed an upshift mid-corner when leaned over. Rajini echoed this by saying that the 160 Duke feels a lot more mellow than most KTMs he's experienced in the past.
Yeah, I never ride KTM like a so smooth now. Before I think so too aggressive. All the when the power ways, the KTM is very good always because more torque all the bikes. But this bike is very smooth. Maybe riding in the road, yes, obviously kind of bike need. But when you coming to racetrack, yes, I feel some more power need to increase. Otherwise, compared to the R15 or any bikes, very slow. I think the back-to-back 2 seconds slow is a huge margin.
The Yamaha XSR 155 is not as powerful as the Duke 160, but it is a full 10 kilos lighter. The bike is not only noticeably quicker than the Duke in a straight line, but it also manages to set a lap time that was nearly 3 seconds faster. It comes as no surprise that this is a good handler because it is based on the same platform as the R15. In fact, the XSR even posted a quicker lap than the R15 that we timed here in 2024, but that is entirely down to the fact that the track conditions have improved over time. The only limitation for Rajini was that the XSR's lower foot pegs scraped more easily than they would on the R15.
I feel the engine's power is almost same like R15. The chassis is same. Only the handlebar and the other work only the different. But I feel it's a very good. The look way is very nice. You can say the touching everywhere little bit, but otherwise the handling is very good. The foot peg touching everywhere, and otherwise the handling is smooth and neat.
From the little 155cc Yamaha, we neatly double the engine capacity and move up to the TVS Apache RTR 310. This is a bike that we have had before at our track day, but some engine improvements like a new forged piston and updated ECU mapping that debuted in 2025 meant that we had to bring it back. After completing a few fast laps, Rajini said that the handling is a clear highlight and this bike feels composed and confidence-inspiring through the corners. However, the ABS intervenes quite aggressively even with the bike in its track mode, and this does restrict confidence. Like the previous version, this bike has capability, but its ergonomics are better suited to city riding rather than outright track performance.
Yeah, RTR 310 naked is See, the feeling very good, the handling also very good. See, especially for the TVS now, the improvement a lot of the quality of bike also, the designing is very good. I feel the electronic also very good. What about the feature there, the quick shifter, that is really work with when you're riding the roads. Limitation, see, maybe I feel when you are braking, the ABS still cut a lot, because when you're going hard brake, yeah, the brake is not too much holding that in the corners. Okay, foot pegs a little low, they everywhere touching, but when you the stand up and riding cool, the position is very, very good.
The next bike is the most powerful and sporty of the Bajaj made triumphs, the Thruxton 400. After pushing and trying to extract all that he could from the bike, Rajini managed quite an impressive lap time. Despite this, he felt that this bike wasn't a particularly engaging experience in this environment, and he expected a bit more punch from the engine. Mind you, the bike we have here is the previous 399cc engine, and we'll probably have the Thruxton back next year to see how the new 350cc engine version does. Ground clearance was another limitation, with frequent scraping of the foot pegs. Overall, it managed to set a good lap time that's actually quicker than the Yamaha R3 that we ran last year. Although the Thruxton benefited from improved track conditions, while the R3 was also held back by its subpar tyres. Nevertheless, quick as it may be, this cafe racer is still a road bike at heart, and while it can perform at the track, this isn't its happy place.
See, first of all, when I am riding in the track, I feel that 400cc don't have that punch. I can say the torque is not much there, and I feel too much vibration in the handlebar. When I am riding, maybe you can cut down 4th to 3rd gear, the too much vibration. I feel maybe you can work on some more, the powers you can increase, maybe the very good bike. And I think every day riding the more computer bike is 100% okay, looking very nice, and yeah, 100% this one suitable for the road.
2025 was a blockbuster year for ADV launches in India, and in that spirit we decided to call two of the most exciting ones to our Trackday. Now, between the 115 horsepower Multistrada V2 and the 170 horsepower Multistrada V4, it's pretty easy to guess that the V4 would be faster, right? Well, that's where the biggest surprise comes in this year, because the V4 was not as fast as its smaller sibling. The reason is almost entirely down to size and weight, with the V4 weighing over 240 kilos with its fuel tank filled. Its massive power also created more of a struggle for the rear tyre to cope. But despite all that, a sub 2-minute lap time for a huge ADV on adventure tyres is still super impressive. A lot of credit for that handling behavior goes to the semi-active electronically adjustable suspension. We set the damping in its sportiest mode and even set the preload to its maximum setting of rider plus pillion plus luggage, and that's how Rajini was able to get the confidence to push this big bike more than he ever imagined that he could.
Couldn't believe myself, because of when I thought maybe brake is not enough, the suspension is not enough. But quite good. The braking system is very, very nice, and you can say the suspension also work very good in the track. Weakness, I feel nothing much, but maybe some more lighter, maybe the good tire for the racetrack. Yes, 100% you'll put the road tire easily, you can go other 3 to 4 seconds off easy.
The Multi V2 uses similar electronically adjustable suspension, and it runs on the same Pirelli Scorpion adventure bike tyres. With a similar setup to its bigger brother in terms of suspension settings and tyre pressures, it managed a lap time that was nearly 1 second faster. Rajini said that this bike felt more flowing through the corners and that it was easier to carry speed. The power delivery was smooth and responsive, but the gearing in second and third didn't always suit the nature of this track. Even so, the V2 was surprisingly fun and capable on the racetrack. The fact that this bike could go on to complete a nationwide tour after setting such a fast lap time is what makes it so special.
But I feel this bike, I can say, more tanning very quick compared to the V4. and V2 is very easy to tan the corners, and compared to the handling ways, much more better this bike. Because that bike, you can say some place still the not grip much, but this bike more grip in the corner. That's why the lap timing also quicker. Engine, you can say the very good, very smooth, and delivery also. When you opening, you can say the 5,000 to coming more than 10,000 RPM, the power delivery is very, very good. And we can say the 5,000, the power is smooth, but when you open the throttle, the power delivery is very, very good. Foot peg scraping some place because more tight corner, the scraping also, but otherwise the quite height, the fast corner not touching much, but only more tanning corner, I can say more tight corner, little bit touching. But otherwise I feel the handling ways, the suspension in the electronics, awesome.
There was never any doubt that the Panigale V4 S would be the fastest bike we've ever clocked at coast. The only question was by how much. You might have noticed that Ducati sent us the bike with full slick tyres, Pirelli Supercorsa SC1 at the rear and SC2 at the front. Rajini told us that these tyres would have improved the lap time by about 1.5 seconds over the stock road legal Supercorsa SP tyres. With the slicks up to temperature and the suspension dialed in, Rajini hit the track. This time he spent more laps getting up to pace compared with the other bikes, and that is totally understandable given the Panigale's 216 horsepower fury. After a few fast laps, he'd already smashed our previous two-wheeler record by over 10 seconds to set a 1 minute 46.22. The latest Panigale's revisions were easy for Rajini to appreciate, and here's what he thought of the bike.
The handling is very good, especially I can say the 2024 bike and this bike, you can say that spring arm is totally different. That is more helpful for when you're taking the corners also. When I ride the old bike 2024 in the straight lane also, a lot of moving there. But this bike more stable in the corners and straight lane also, and especially for the tanning, the bike tanning is awesome. Yeah, totally you can say the handling way is so much improved in Ducati Panigale this time. 2025-26 bike is very awesome.
The Panigale is a complete powerhouse, and as you can expect, Rajini didn't have much to report when we asked him what its weaknesses were.
I never feel much, but I feel some place, maybe you can say the power delivery is sometime knows, you can say too much. And second thing, the gear ratio is totally different. When I'm riding the old bike and new bike, the first gear too tall and the second gear also too tall. Might sometime the original sprocket suitable some track, maybe you can change a new different sprocket, you can go more faster. But I can feel maybe this bike and the coast track is maybe I need some more higher sprocket to go faster, but I feel okay, you've done good lap timing.
As you can probably imagine, this is not an easy bike to tame, and Rajini would have surely gone even faster if he had more time with the bike. It's also worth bearing in mind that this is a track built to reward high downforce cars, and the Panigale could only hit a top speed of 228.59 kph here. While it does fall short of the Porsche 911 GT3 RS's lap record set at this same circuit by Narayan Karthikeyan a couple of years ago, the bike would have been hard to beat at a faster track like the BIC. The Ducati Panigale V4 S is at the pinnacle of performance for a road bike. This lap time is a benchmark, and it's going to take a really special bike to topple it in the years to come. So, the Panigale V4 now tops our leaderboard, and here's just how far ahead it is compared to every other bike that we've brought to coast over the last 3 years. Before we end this video, we leave you with this onboard lap from the V4. Mind you, this was on one of Rajini's practice laps and he preferred to push for the fastest laps without the disturbance of the camera in his line of sight. Enjoy!